Hey, Emma. I want to talk about something today.
Hey Leo, can I ask you something?
Sure. What's on your mind?
Do you ever feel embarrassed when you make a mistake in English?
Honestly, all the time. Even now, after speaking English for years, I still mess things up sometimes.
Really? I thought it was just me.
No way. I think every learner feels that way at some point. It's just part of the process.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I want to talk about it today because I think a lot of people feel bad about their mistakes, but nobody really talks about it openly.
That's a great topic. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so first question, what's a mistake you remember clearly, like one that really stuck with you?
Oh, I have a good one actually.
Tell me.
So, a few years ago, I was talking to a friend and I wanted to ask if I could borrow his book. But instead, I said, "Can I lend your book?"
Oh no.
Yeah. He looked at me like, "Wait, what do you mean?" Because borrow and lend are opposites. When you borrow something, you take it from someone. When you lend something, you give it to someone.
Right, so you said the wrong one.
Exactly. I mixed them up completely. I still think about that sometimes.
That's such a common mistake, though. A lot of learners mix up borrow and lend.
What about you? Do you have one?
Oh, yes. This one is a listening mistake, not a speaking mistake.
Those can be even more confusing.
So, one time, someone told me the meeting was at 13 o'clock, and I heard 30. I was so confused. I thought, 30 o'clock? That's not even a real time.
Ha, that's a great example. 13 and 30 sound similar, but they're completely different numbers.
I know. I just stood there thinking, did I hear that right?
What did you do?
I just asked again. I said, sorry, could you repeat that? And then it made sense.
That's smart. Asking again is always better than guessing.
Definitely. I also remember mixing up dessert and desert once. Someone said they were going on a trip to the desert, and I thought they meant they were going somewhere to eat dessert.
That's a funny one. Two very different meanings.
It is funny now, but at the time, I felt so silly.
It's interesting, though. Why do you think we make these mistakes so often?
I think one big reason is that some words just sound alike. Our brain hears something similar and it connects to the wrong word.
That makes sense. Another reason, I think, is translating in our first language. Sometimes we think in our first language and then we try to change it into English directly.
Oh, that happens to me a lot. Sometimes I translate a sentence word by word and it just doesn't sound right in English.
Right. English doesn't always follow the same pattern as other languages, so a direct translation can turn into a strange sentence.
And I think nervousness plays a big role too. When we feel nervous, we speak faster and we don't think carefully about our words.
That's so true. I make more mistakes when I'm nervous or in a hurry.
Same here. When I'm relaxed, my English feels much smoother.
There's also just not knowing a word well enough yet. Like, maybe we learned a word, but we haven't used it enough times to remember it correctly.
That's a normal part of learning a new language, though. You can't know everything right away.
Exactly. Mistakes usually mean you're actually trying and using the language, not staying quiet.
Can we talk about how it feels, though? Because I think that part matters a lot, too.
Of course. How did you feel after the 13 and 30 mistake?
Honestly, a little embarrassed at first. I thought people might think I wasn't listening carefully.
I understand that feeling. After my borrow and lend mistake, I felt the same way. I kept thinking about it for the rest of the day.
It's strange how one small mistake can stay in our mind for so long.
It really is. But I've noticed something. The other person usually forgets about it much faster than we do.
That's true. My friend probably forgot about the lend mistake the next day.
Exactly. We're often much harder on ourselves than other people are on us.
I think that's a really important point. We judge ourselves so much more than anyone else judges us.
Right. Most people are actually kind about it. They just want to understand you.
So, how do we look at mistakes in a better way?
I think one helpful idea is this. Mistakes actually show that you're learning. If you never made a mistake, it might mean you're not challenging yourself.
That's a nice way to think about it.
Also, remember that even native speakers make mistakes. They mix up words too, or say something wrong by accident.
That's a good point. I sometimes forget that.
Nobody's perfect, not even in their own language. So it's okay to make mistakes in a second language.
I like that. It takes some pressure off.
And honestly, most mistakes are small. People usually understand what you meant, even if one word was wrong.
Right, like with your lend and borrow story. Your friend probably understood what you wanted, even though you used the wrong word.
Exactly. He understood right away. It wasn't a big problem at all.
I think it also helps to remember that mistakes are just information. They show us what to review or practice next.
That's a great way to put it. A mistake isn't the end of something, it's actually a helpful step forward.
Do you have any tips for handling mistakes better?
Sure. One tip is to laugh it off when it happens. If you can smile about it, the moment feels much lighter.
That helps a lot. I've started doing that too.
Another tip is to write it down. If you learn something new from a mistake, keep a small note. It helps you remember it next time.
That's smart. I actually do that with new words I mix up.
And finally, just keep practicing. The more you speak and listen, the fewer mistakes you'll make over time.
That's true. I feel much more confident now than I did a year ago.
Same here. And I still make mistakes sometimes, even now.
I think the biggest lesson is this. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's part of learning.
Exactly. Progress matters more than perfection.
This was such a nice conversation. I feel better just talking about it.
Me too. I think a lot of people will understand exactly what we're talking about.
If you're watching this and you've made a mistake in English recently, just remember, it happens to everyone.
Yes, every mistake means you're actually using the language, and that's a good thing.
So don't feel embarrassed. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and keep learning.
That's the real key. See you in the next conversation.
Bye, everyone.